We all heard about how social media can increase your depressive and anxiety symptoms. So I need to make a confession here. I can't relate to it. I understand it, but it quite never happened to me. Because from my own experience, social media actually decreased my depressive and anxiety symptoms. And I believe that it happens because of how I use social media. And today I'm gonna share with you how. So I firstly used social media when I was 13 as a way to connect with my friends. We were going to different schools when we turned 13, so I made a Facebook account to stay connected with them. And that's it. Among other things. I don't think any one of us want to comment about how we use social media at the age of 13. But genuinely, I really like watching their updates, even though it was nothing much, like they take the food of what they eat, they go to certain places, they may update something like, I'm bored, I'm sad, that kind of stuff. In addition, I also use my Facebook account to check Facebook pages of the people and artists that I like. I remember the top two being Wonder Girls and Ain Maisara. Like, I would go there like every time I logged in Facebook. Every time. But I never liked the pages. Why? Because despite me liking them, I actually don't want their posts to appear on my feed. Because that's where my friends at. Yeah, I'd rather go to the page manually every day to check on them, as long as they don't interrupt with my friend feed. So that's how I've been using social media. Even after I made Twitter and Instagram account when I was 17, I still use it that way, just to connect with friends, strictly for friends. And when I want to check out, artists or famous people, I'll go manually to check them. Until 2017, when I decided to make YouTube videos and produce content in general. I've mentioned before in my blog post that I launched it actually when I was still in my depressive state. Because I had planned it way earlier and I was hyped enough to launch it at that moment. So a side note here, proper planning can actually make you do actions despite your mental state. It can actually win over your mental state. So yeah, planning never fails. Back to the story, in order to realizing that dream, I made a second account. All over Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The one you're seeing right now. And I utilized that account not to just post my own stuff, but to actually follow those people that I've been wanting to follow for a long time, but I restricted myself from doing so. I remember the earliest one that I followed are Gary V, Prince EA, Jay Shetty, and then I also follow Muslim artists like Khalid Siddiq, Mona Haidar, Omar Issa, and of course Malaysian figures like Aiman Bana, I'm Azlan, I'm a psychologist. That's a lot of Aiman. I guess that is a common name in Malaysia. So starting from there, I have double timeline to check. And later on, I started to hang out more on my Telly timeline than my private timeline. Why? Well, when I go to my private one, I see, memes, jokes, updates that they're fun, but not necessarily need to know. But then when I go to Telly's timeline, I see all of these people producing out content, talking about motivation, wisdom, knowledge, and purpose. I see this very beautiful realm, which what I can conclude in this word, personal growth. For once in my almost 2 years of battling my mental state, I saw a light out of personal growth. So in a sense, to be more exact, rather than social media, it was actually personal growth that brought me out of the gutter. But all of those would never happen if I never started to make videos and content online. They would never happen at all if I had not opened this second account and follow all the people that I know now.